The defining factors for informality or the informal people working in the informal economy is that they don't have access to social protection through an employer.
Informality is critical to this region, and it's the only region in which we've seen relatively high economic growth rates, but little change in the number of people working as informal sector workers or in the informal sector.
They often have low incomes, the risks that they face are high, and so they're unable to work themselves out of poverty because they just can't get ahead.
We also need to know where they come from, how they start, and how we can create an environment where it'll be easier for them to graduate into being the micro-entrepreneur from being just informal. So it's very important for us to know the problems and know the barriers and actually know the ecosystem that they operate in.
Currently, if we look at cities across Asia, nearly 90% of the economy of the city is driven by the informal sector, and that is at the heart of sustained growth and at the heart of a sustainable city.
Rich people living in cities rely on services provided by the informal sector day in and day out. So if we're going to think about local economic development, if we ignore the informal economy, then we're actually ignoring the real opportunity that exists for cities to become more dynamic, for the economies to grow.
Inclusive economies are economies that give rights to the vulnerable, especially marginalized communities and women, that have participatory decision and planning making processes, that take into account informal workers and give them access to the basic services that they require. That's what inclusive economies means to Oxfam.